sweetheart. Where is your mommy?
The security guard's radio crackled for the third time in 10 minutes, but Zara Chen barely heard it over the sound of her own daughters screaming, "Mama! Mama, please!" 4-year-old Lily's voice tore through Gate 23 at JFK International Airport, like a siren, raw and desperate. The kind of sound that should make people stop, should make them turn around, should pierce through the fog of their own busy lives and force them to see. But the crowds kept moving. A businessman in a tailored suit stepped around Lily's outstretched hand without breaking stride. A woman with designer luggage pulled her own child closer, as if poverty and abandonment might be contagious. An elderly couple glanced down, then quickly away, their discomfort written in the set of their shoulders. Lily sat on the industrial carpet, her twisted right leg folded beneath her at an angle that made Zara's chest ache just looking at it. The child's pink coat, 2 sizes too small, rode up to expose the faded Dora the Explorer shirt underneath. In her arms, she clutched a stuffed rabbit whose left ear hung by threads, the fabric worn smooth from years of desperate hugging. Tears carved clean paths through the grime on her brown cheeks, and her black hair, once carefully braided by someone who cared, now hung in tangled sections around her face. She'd been sitting there for 53 minutes. Zara Chen wasn't supposed to be at this gate at all. The tech billionaire, founder of Chen Innovations, and a woman whose face had graced the cover of Forbes 3 times in the past 5 years, was supposed to be halfway to Singapore by now. Her private jet waited in the executive terminal, engines idling, pilot checking his watch. But her driver had made a wrong turn, sent her to the wrong terminal, and now Zara was cutting through the chaos of Terminal 4 as a shortcut, already composing the termination email in her head. And then she saw Lily. At first, Zara almost didn't stop. The child was so still between the screaming fits, so quiet, almost invisible against the relentless motion of the airport. But something about the way Lily sat, with that terrible patience, that exhausted acceptance in her small body, made Zara's feet slow, made her stop, made her turn around. Zara had built an empire by reading people, by seeing patterns others missed, by understanding what wasn't being said. And looking at this child, at the way she held herself, at the emptiness in her eyes between the tears, Zara saw something that made her blood run cold. This child had been left. "Hey!" Zara's voice came out softer than she'd heard it in years, maybe decades. She crouched down in front of the child, her $3,000 Armani suit creasing against the dirty carpet. "Hey there, sweetheart. Are you okay?" Lily's dark eyes, too old for her face, fixed on Zara with a mixture of hope and terror. Her bottom lip trembled. One small hand pointed vaguely toward the crowds, then fell back to clutch the rabbit tighter. "Where are your parents?" Zara asked, though she already knew the answer. She'd seen enough in those first 3 seconds to understand exactly what had happened here. "Mama said she'd come back." Lily's voice was barely a whisper, hoarse from screaming. "She said, wait right here. She said she just had to talk to someone. She said—" The child's voice cracked, and fresh tears spilled down her cheeks. "Why didn't she come back? I was good. I didn't move. I was so good." The words hit Zara like a fist to the sternum. She knew that feeling, knew that desperate need to be good enough, to be worth coming back for. Knew what it felt like to sit somewhere cold and public, watching the minutes tick by, convincing yourself that if you just wait a little longer, if you're just a little more patient, the person who was supposed to love you will remember you exist. "Mom?" A gate agent appeared beside them, a young black woman with exhausted eyes and a name tag that read, Patricia. "Mom, are you with this child? What's going on?" Zara stood, and her voice carried that edge of authority that had closed billion-dollar deals and intimidated boardrooms full of men who underestimated her. Patricia's shoulders sagged with something that looked like relief and resignation mixed together. This child was abandoned approximately an hour ago. Her mother left her here. We've made multiple announcements. Airport police are on their way to take her into custody until we can locate the parent or contact Child Protective Services. Abandoned. The word hung in the air between them like smoke. Zara looked at Lily, really looked at her, and saw the too-thin frame beneath the inadequate coat, the hollowness in her cheeks that spoke of meals skipped, the way her twisted leg angled wrong, untreated, and probably painful. She saw the worn rabbit clutched like a lifeline, the tear-stained face, the way the child made herself small, as if trying to disappear into the carpet. She saw herself at 7 years old, sitting in a different airport, in a different city, waiting for a mother who never came. "Show me the security footage," Zara said. Patricia blinked. "I'm sorry?" "The security footage. I want to see what happened. I want to see the mother." "Mom, I don't think... I'm Zara Chen." She said it without inflection, but the name did its work. Patricia's eyes widened slightly. Even if she didn't recognize Zara personally, she knew the name. Chen Innovations. The woman who'd revolutionized cloud computing. The billionaire who'd started with nothing and built an empire through sheer will and brilliance. "I need to see what happened," Zara continued, her voice quieter now, but no less firm. "And I need 10 minutes before you hand this child over to anyone. Can you do that?" Something in Zara's tone, or perhaps the way she was looking at Lily like the child was the most important person in this entire airport, made Patricia nod slowly. I'll get my supervisor." The supervisor arrived with a tablet, a harried-looking man in his 40s named Michael Rodriguez. Zara watched the footage in silence, her jaw tightening with each passing second. A woman, early 30s, with Lily's same dark hair and delicate features, led the child through the terminal. The woman wore designer jeans and a leather jacket that probably cost more than Lily's entire wardrobe. She walked fast, too fast, and Lily struggled to keep up, her twisted leg dragging slightly. They reached gate 23. The woman crouched down, said something to Lily, handed her the stuffed rabbit. Then she stood and walked away. She didn't look back. The camera captured Lily sitting down carefully, arranging her bad leg, clutching the rabbit. Captured her watching the crowd, searching for her mother's face. Captured the exact moment, 15 minutes later, when understanding crept into the child's eyes and she began to scream. And it captured something else. Something that made Zara's rage crystallize into something sharp and purposeful. For those first 10 minutes after the mother disappeared, people walked past Lily constantly. Some glanced down. One woman actually stepped over the child's outstretched leg without pausing. A security guard walked past twice, radio in hand, looking right through Lily as if she were invisible. It took 17 minutes before Patricia made the first announcement. 17 minutes of a 4-year-old disabled child sitting alone on an airport floor before anyone officially acknowledged her existence. "Find the mother," Zara said, her voice cold enough to frost glass. "I want her name. I want to know where she went, and I want charges filed. Child abandonment, child endangerment, criminal neglect, whatever applies. I want everything." Michael cleared his throat nervously. "Ms. Chen, we've already filed a report with airport police. They're investigating. But in terms of the child, protocol requires... How long before Child Protective Services arrives?" "Could be 2 to 4 hours. Friday night, they're backed up." Zara looked at Lily, still sitting on that floor, still clutching that rabbit, still believing somewhere deep down that if she just waits a little longer, if she's just a little better, her mama will come back. "No," Zara said. "That's not happening. Ms. Chen, I'm taking her." The words landed like a bomb in the space between them. Michael's mouth opened and closed. Patricia took a step back. "I'm taking temporary custody of this child," Zara continued, already pulling out her phone, already dialing her attorney. "I have the resources to ensure she's safe, fed, and properly cared for while this gets sorted out. I'll cooperate fully with any investigation, but I'm not leaving her to sit on this floor for another 4 hours waiting for an overworked social worker to show up and put her into emergency foster care. Miss Chen, Michael tried again. I understand your concern, but we have protocols. Your protocols, Zara interrupted, and her voice was steel now. Left a disabled 4-year-old on the floor for an hour, while hundreds of people walked past her like she was garbage. So forgive me if I don't have a lot of faith in your protocols. She held the phone to her ear. Jennifer, Zara Chen, I need you to conference in a family law specialist immediately. I'm at JFK Terminal 4, Gate 23, and I'm about to take emergency custody of an abandoned minor. Yes, I'm serious. I need someone here in 30 minutes with whatever paperwork makes this legal. Zara looked at Michael, then at Patricia. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to let me provide immediate care to this child, while my lawyers handle the legal details. Or I'm going to own this airport by the time my legal team is done with you. Your choice. It was mostly a bluff, but it was a bluff delivered with such absolute conviction, such unshakable certainty, that Michael actually took a step back. Patricia, who'd been watching this entire exchange with wide eyes, suddenly spoke up. She hasn't eaten, she said quietly. The little girl. I offered her water, but she wouldn't take it. Just kept asking for her mama. Something in Zara's chest cracked a little more. She crouched down in front of Lily again, bringing herself to the child's eye level. Lily, she said gently, reading the name from the temporary tag on the child's coat. My name is Zara. Are you hungry? Lily's eyes flicked to Zara's face, then away. A tiny nod. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you something to eat. Whatever you want. McDonald's, pizza, chicken nuggets, whatever sounds good. And then we're going to make sure you're safe. I promise you, Lily. I promise nobody's going to leave you alone again. Do you understand? You're not my mama, Lily whispered. No, Zara agreed. I'm not. But I'm here, and I'm not leaving. Sometimes that's enough. 2 hours later, Zara Chen sat in the back of her Mercedes SUV with a 4-year-old she'd met 3 hours ago, watching Lily systematically demolish a Happy Meal while clutching a new stuffed rabbit from the airport gift shop. The old one sat carefully placed on the seat between them, honoured, but no longer alone. Zara's lawyers had worked their magic. Emergency paperwork filed, family services bureaucracy navigated, favours called in from judges and officials. It wasn't perfect. Nothing about this situation was perfect. But it was legal, at least for the next 72 hours, while the investigation into Lily's mother proceeded. Zara's assistant, Marcus, sat in the front passenger seat, his usual unflappable efficiency showing cracks around the edges. He'd rebooked Zara's flights, cancelled her Singapore conference, alerted her household staff, and contacted every specialist in child welfare law the firm had on retainer. He'd also been shooting Zara increasingly concerned looks in the rearview mirror, as if he couldn't quite reconcile this version of his boss with the woman who'd once fired an entire marketing team before lunch. Ms. Chen, Marcus said carefully, I've arranged for a pediatrician to meet us at your apartment in 30 minutes. Dr. Sarah Kim can see Lily tomorrow at 9. And I've contacted 3 highly recommended nannies who specialize in special needs children. They're available for interviews starting Monday. Zara nodded absently. Her entire focus was on Lily, who was looking out the window at the Manhattan skyline growing larger as they crossed the bridge, her breath fogging the glass slightly. Is that where you live? Lily asked suddenly, pointing at the forest of buildings. In the tall buildings? Yes, Zara said. Have you been to the city before? Lily shook her head. Mama said the city is bad. Said there's dangerous people there. Zara felt that familiar anger spike again, hot and sharp. Your mama, she said carefully, trying to keep her voice even, was wrong about a lot of things. The city has all kinds of people, good and bad, just like everywhere else. but where we're going is safe. I promise. You keep promising, Lily observed with the brutal honesty only small children possess. How do I know you won't leave too? The question hung in the air. Marcus shifted uncomfortably in the front seat. The driver, James, who'd worked for Zara for 8 years, adjusted the rearview mirror unnecessarily. You don't know, Zara said finally, because she wouldn't lie to this child. I'm a stranger, Lily. You have no reason to trust me, but I can tell you this. When I make a promise, I keep it, always. And I'm promising you right now that I will not abandon you. Not tonight, not tomorrow, not next week. We're going to figure this out together, okay? Lily studied her with those 2 old eyes, weighing, measuring, deciding. Then slowly, she nodded. When they pulled up to Zara's building on the Upper West Side, the doorman rushed to open the door, then did a visible double-take at the sight of his usually child-free tenant, emerging with a small girl in an inadequate coat. Evening, Miss Chen, Gerald said smoothly, recovering. Welcome home. Then to Lily, with a kind smile. Welcome home, young lady. Lily shrank against Zara's leg, and Zara found her hand automatically going to the child's shoulder, steadying her, protecting her. It's okay, Zara said quietly. Gerald's good people. He's part of the building family. The elevator ride to the penthouse was Lily's first time in such a confined space, and she gripped Zara's hand so tightly, her small knuckles turned pale. When the doors opened directly into Zara's apartment, 15,000 square feet of meticulously designed modern luxury, Lily's eyes went wide. You live here, she breathed. All by yourself. Zara looked around her apartment, as if seeing it for the first time. The soaring ceilings, the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Central Park, the contemporary art worth millions, the gleaming surfaces and sharp angles. It was impressive. It was intimidating. But suddenly, seeing it through Lily's eyes, it looked cold. Empty. More like a showroom than a home. Yes, she said. Just me. It's really big, Lily said pragmatically. Where do I sleep? It was a good question. Zara had 4 bedrooms, but 3 were offices. Her actual bedroom was hardly child-appropriate, all glass and metal and sharp corners. We'll figure something out for tonight, Zara said. Tomorrow we'll get you a proper room set up, with whatever you want. Toys, books, games. We'll make it perfect. Lily looked skeptical, as if she'd heard promises like this before, but she was also exhausted. Zara could see it in the way the child swayed slightly on her feet, in the dark circles under her eyes. The pediatrician arrived, Dr. Elizabeth Kim, who Zara had on retainer for her employees. She was a warm woman in her 60s with gentle hands, and she examined Lily with practiced efficiency. Afterward, she pulled Zara aside while Lily coloured at the kitchen table with some markers Marcus had somehow procured. Her leg, Dr. Kim said quietly. It's a club foot that was never properly treated, should have been corrected in infancy with casting and bracing, possibly surgery. At her age now it's going to be more complicated, but it's absolutely correctable. She'll need an orthopedic specialist, probably multiple surgeries. She's also malnourished. Not severely, but chronically. And there are signs of neglect. Poor dental hygiene. Untreated minor injuries. Set up whatever she needs, Zara said immediately. Best doctors. Whatever it takes. Dr. Kim studied her curiously. You don't have children, do you, Zara? No. Do you have any experience with children at all? No. Do you understand what you're taking on? This isn't just about providing medical care. This child has been severely traumatized. She's going to need intensive therapy, specialized care, consistent nurturing. That's before we even address the legal complexities. Her mother is still legally her guardian unless parental rights are terminated. Zara looked at Lily, bent over her colouring with fierce concentration, her tongue poking out the corner of her mouth. The child had drawn what appeared to be a house with a garden and coloured it carefully, staying mostly inside the lines. I don't know what I'm prepared for, Zara admitted, but I know I can't walk away from her now. Does that make sense? Dr. Kim's expression softened. Actually, yes. It makes perfect sense. After the doctor left, Zara and Lily were alone in the vast apartment. Lily had grown quiet again, the brief animation from colouring fading. She sat on the leather couch, looking impossibly small. "Are you tired?" Zara asked. Lily nodded. "Okay, let me show you where you can sleep." She led Lily to one of the spare bedrooms, the one with the least clutter. While Lily watched from the doorway, Zara cleared boxes off the bed and fashioned a makeshift nest of pillows. "I know it's not ideal," Zara said, "but tomorrow will make it better." Lily climbed onto the bed, still clutching both rabbits. Zara turned to leave, then paused at the sound of the child's small voice. "Miss Zara." "Just Zara is fine." "Zara, are you going to send me away when you get tired of me?" The question was asked so matter-of-factly, with such resignation, that Zara had to close her eyes for a moment against the wave of emotion. "Lily," Zara said, walking back to the bed and sitting on the edge. "When I was 7 years old, my mother left me at an airport, just like your mother left you today. I waited for hours, thinking she was coming back, but she didn't. Someone else had to take care of me, my grandmother, who did her best but was already raising 3 other grandchildren. I spent years feeling like I was always one mistake away from being sent somewhere else, like I had to earn the right to exist." Lily's eyes widened, locked on Zara's face. "Do you understand what I'm telling you?" Zara continued. "I know exactly what you're feeling right now. The fear, the confusion, the wondering what you did wrong. And I'm here to tell you that you didn't do anything wrong. This isn't about you. This is about your mother's choices. And I'm making a different choice. I'm choosing to stay. Promise. I promise. You are not a burden, Lily. You are not an inconvenience. You are a brave, strong kid who's been through something terrible, and you deserve better. I'm going to do everything in my power to give you that." Tears slipped down Lily's cheeks. "My leg hurts." Dr. Kim had left medicine for pain. Zara administered it carefully, helped Lily get comfortable, adjusted the pillows. She turned on a small lamp so the room wasn't completely dark. "Can you stay?" Lily asked, as Zara moved toward the door. "Just until I fall asleep." So Zara Chen, tech billionaire, woman who'd revolutionized an industry, who slept an average of 4 hours a night and hadn't taken a vacation in 6 years, sat in a chair beside a stranger's child's bed and watched her drift into fitful sleep. And somewhere in the space between midnight and dawn, watching Lily's face finally relax, Zara realized that this moment, this completely unplanned, utterly impractical, probably insane moment, might be the first truly meaningful thing she'd done in her entire 40-year life. Her phone buzzed. A text from the investigator her lawyers had hired. Found Lily's mother, Melissa Torres, arrested at her apartment in Queens, charged with child abandonment and endangerment. Says it was a misunderstanding, that she was coming back. Her lawyer is already trying to cut a deal. Zara typed back, "No deals, full prosecution, and file for a restraining order first thing Monday." She stayed in that chair until dawn broke over Manhattan, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. And in that soft morning light, as Lily finally achieved deep, restful sleep, Zara Chen began to understand that she hadn't just saved a child tonight. She'd been given a chance to save herself. By Monday morning, word had spread through Zara's professional circles like wildfire. Her phone hadn't stopped buzzing. Texts, calls, emails from colleagues and business associates, all expressing variations of the same confusion and concern. Her business partner, David Liu, showed up at the apartment at 7 a.m. with coffee and visible alarm. "Zara," he said, as soon as she opened the door. "What the hell are you doing?" "Good morning to you too," Zara said mildly. She was wearing yoga pants and a Stanford sweatshirt, the first time David had seen her in anything other than business attire in the 15 years they'd known each other. Coffee? Zara, you found a random kid at the airport and just took her home. Do you understand how this looks? I understand how it looks to you, Zara said, leading him to the kitchen where Lily sat at the table with the nanny Zara had hired, Esther, eating pancakes. But that child's mother left her on the airport floor like trash. She was scared and hurt and alone, and hundreds of people just walked past her. What was I supposed to do? David stared at Lily, who had paused mid-bite to look at him with wary eyes. Zara saw David's expression cycle through emotions, surprise, concern, and then something softer as he watched the way Zara immediately moved to Lily's side, adjusting her napkin, asking if she wanted more juice. "This is Lily," Zara said. "Lily, this is my friend David. He's safe." "Hi," Lily said softly. "Hey there," David managed, his voice losing its edge. Later, after Lily was occupied with cartoons in the living room, David confronted Zara again in the kitchen. "Zara, you're 40 years old. You don't have kids. You've built your entire life around your work. And now you're just... what? Becoming an instant mother." "That child needed someone," Zara said quietly. "And I was there. It's that simple." "It's not simple. It's complicated and messy and the most important thing I've ever done," Zara interrupted. "David, look at me. Really look at me. Before Friday night, when was the last time you saw me smile? Really smile, not just that corporate smile I give in meetings. When was the last time I did something that mattered, actually mattered, more than the bottom line?" David opened his mouth, then closed it. "I'm keeping her," Zara said. "Or I'm going to try. I don't know if the courts will let me, but I'm going to fight for her, and I need you to either support that or get out of my way." David studied her for a long moment, then sighed. "You really mean this?" "I really mean this." "Okay," he said finally. "Okay. What do you need?" The family court hearing that afternoon was intense. Judge Maria Santos, a woman in her late 50s with sharp eyes, listened to both sides with an impassive expression. "Ms. Chen," Judge Santos said, "help me understand. You have no prior relationship with this child. You have no children of your own. You run a tech company that requires enormous time commitments. What makes you think you're an appropriate guardian for a 4-year-old special needs child?" It was a fair question. Devastating even. Zara's lawyers had prepared an answer about resources and stability, but Zara found herself setting aside the script. "Your Honor, you're absolutely right. On paper, I'm probably the worst candidate imaginable. I work 80-hour weeks. I don't know anything about raising children. My apartment isn't even child-proofed yet. The last time I spent more than 5 minutes with a child was probably 20 years ago." She paused. "But I know what it feels like to be abandoned. I know what it does to a child to be left alone and scared. And when Lily looked at me on that airport floor, she was asking the same question I asked when I was 7. Will you stay? Your Honor, I can't walk away from that question." Judge Santos studied her for a long moment. "Pretty words, Ms. Chen, but what happens when this gets hard?" "Then I'll deal with it," Zara said simply. "I've built a company from nothing. I've weathered every challenge the tech industry could throw at me. I'm not saying raising a child is the same as running a business. I'm not that naive. But I am saying that when I commit to something, I see it through, and I sure as hell don't abandon people who need me." The mother's lawyer argued for immediate return of custody, claiming it was a misunderstanding, a momentary lapse in judgment. But the security footage told a different story. Judge Santos reviewed everything: the medical reports showing neglect, the testimony from Dr. Kim, the statements from airport personnel, Zara's resources and commitment. Finally, she spoke. "I'm granting temporary custody to Ms. Chen for a period of 60 days. During that time, there will be weekly home visits from a court-appointed specialist. Ms. Chen, You will ensure Lily receives all necessary medical care, therapy, and support. This is not final. At the end of 60 days, we'll reconvene. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, Judge Santos said dryly. You have no idea what you're in for. But Ms. Chen, I hope you prove me wrong about the odds. That child deserves someone who will fight for her. The next weeks transformed Zara's life completely. Her mornings now started not with market reports and conference calls, but with helping Lily get dressed, making breakfast, and establishing routines. Her evenings ended not with networking dinners, but with reading bedtime stories and chasing away nightmares. It was exhausting. It was bewildering. It was the most important thing she'd ever done. Dr. Samantha Morrison, the child psychologist, began intensive therapy with Lily 3 times a week. After the first session, she warned Zara, "She's going to test you. She's been abandoned by every important adult in her life. She's going to push you to see if you'll prove her right, to see if you'll leave too." Sure enough, about 3 weeks in, Lily's perfect behavior cracked. She refused to eat her vegetables. She left toys everywhere. And one evening, Zara came home to find Lily had colored all over her bedroom walls with permanent marker. Not random scribbles, but pictures. Hundreds of rabbits everywhere, in black marker against the pristine white walls. Esther looked apologetic. "I'm sorry, Miss Chen. I turned my back for just a moment." "It's fine," Zara said, studying the rabbits. They were everywhere. Big ones, small ones, rabbits with wings, rabbits wearing crowns. "Esther, it's fine. Could you give us a minute?" When they were alone, Zara sat on the floor beside Lily, who was curled in the corner, clearly expecting punishment. "I'm sorry," Lily whispered. "I'm sorry. I'll be good. Please don't send me away." "Hey," Zara said gently. "Look at me, Lily." The child's tear-filled eyes met hers. "I'm not going to send you away. I'm not angry about the walls, but I'm curious. Why rabbits?" Lily clutched her threadbare stuffed rabbit. "Mama gave me this, before she left. She said rabbits are brave even when they're scared. She said that's like me." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "I don't want to forget that she loved me once, even if she doesn't anymore." Zara felt her heart crack. She pulled Lily into her lap and held her while she cried. It wasn't the first time Lily had cried, but it was the first time she'd let herself be completely vulnerable, completely messy, completely herself. "You're not going anywhere," Zara said fiercely. "And Lily, your mama was right about one thing. You are brave, the bravest person I know." That night, Zara didn't repaint the walls. Instead, she bought frames and carefully cut out the best rabbit drawings to preserve them. The rest of the wall became something else. A memorial to the first time Lily felt safe enough to make a mess and know she wouldn't be punished for it. 6 weeks later, Melissa Torres, Lily's biological mother, was released on bail. Her lawyer wanted supervised visitation. The first visit was a disaster. Zara watched through one-way glass as Lily sat stiffly in a chair, refusing to look at her mother, refusing to speak. Melissa tried to engage her, offering toys, attempting conversation. But there was something hollow about it, something performative. "Hey, baby," Melissa said with forced cheerfulness. "I'm so sorry about what happened. That was a big misunderstanding. But Mommy's here now. Everything's going to be okay." Lily didn't respond. "Come on, don't be like that. I brought you something." Melissa pulled out a cheap stuffed rabbit. "Look, it's just like the one I gave you before." "I don't want it," Lily said quietly. "Baby." "You left me," Lily said, and her voice was stronger now. "You said you'd come back and you didn't. Zara doesn't leave. Zara stays." Melissa's face darkened. "Zara? You mean the rich lady who's trying to steal my daughter?" "Lily, she's not your mother. I'm your mother." "You left me on the floor," Lily said, and tears streamed down her face now. "You walked away and you didn't look back. You didn't even look back." The visit ended early. Zara scooped Lily up immediately, carrying her despite the child being a bit too big for it, feeling Lily's arms lock around her neck like a lifeline. "I've got you," Zara murmured. "I've got you." In the car, Lily was silent for a long time. Then, "She smelled different. Not like I remembered." "People change sometimes," Zara said carefully. "Are you my family now?" Lily asked. "If you want me to be," Zara said, heart in her throat. "I'd be honored to be your family, Lily." "Okay," Lily said simply. "You're my family. Can we go home?" Home. The word landed like grace. "Yeah, sweetheart. Let's go home." The 60-day review hearing arrived too quickly. Zara had documentation of everything, every doctor's appointment, every therapy session, every milestone. Lily had gained weight. Her nightmares had decreased. Her leg was healing beautifully after the first surgery. But Melissa Torres was fighting back. She'd completed parenting classes, secured employment, claimed deep regret. Judge Santos reviewed the files, her expression unreadable. "I'm going to do something unusual," she said finally. "I'm going to ask Lily what she wants." Lily was brought into the courtroom. She walked straight to Zara and climbed into her lap without hesitation. "Hello, Lily," Judge Santos said gently. "Do you know why you're here?" Lily nodded. "Can you tell me where you want to live?" For a long moment, Lily didn't respond. Then she looked at Judge Santos and said, her voice small but clear, "With Zara. I want to live with Zara." "What about your mother?" Lily looked at Melissa for the first time. There was no recognition in her eyes. No love. Just exhaustion. "That's not my mama anymore," Lily said. "My mama wouldn't leave me on the floor. That lady left me. Zara stayed. Zara's my family now." Judge Santos closed her eyes briefly. When she opened them, her decision was clear. "I'm extending Ms. Chen's guardianship and ordering a formal investigation into termination of parental rights. Ms. Torres, you'll have opportunities to appeal, but as of today, Lily remains with Ms. Chen." The gavel came down. Melissa was shouting something. Her lawyer was restraining her, but Zara barely heard it. She was holding Lily, feeling the child's small body trembling, whispering reassurances. "You're staying," she told Lily. "You're staying with me forever." "Forever?" Lily asked, her voice muffled against Zara's neck. "Forever," Zara promised. "You're stuck with me now, kid." Lily pulled back, studying Zara's face. Then she smiled. A real smile, genuine and unguarded and beautiful. "Good," she said. "I pick you too." The formal adoption took another 8 months. 8 months during which Lily bloomed. 8 months during which Zara learned what it meant to love someone more than success, more than achievement, more than anything she'd built in her 40 years. On Lily's 5th birthday, before the party, Zara presented her with a wrapped box. Inside was a new stuffed rabbit, soft and pristine. And underneath it, adoption papers with Zara's signature, waiting for Judge Santos's final approval. "What's this?" Lily asked. "That's how we become official," Zara explained. "How I become legally your mum, and you become legally my daughter. How we become a real family forever." "We're already a real family," Lily said with the confidence only a 5-year-old can muster. "We've been a real family since you stayed. Papers don't make families. Staying makes families." Zara found herself blinking back tears. "You're absolutely right. But the papers help make sure nobody can separate us. They're like a promise written down." "Okay," Lily said pragmatically. Then, with devastating simplicity, "I love you, Mum." It was the first time she'd said it. The first time she'd claimed the title without hesitation. Zara, who'd built an empire through sheer will and brilliance, who never cried at board meetings or negotiations, felt tears streaming down her face. "I love you too, sweetheart," she said, pulling Lily into a hug. "More than I knew it was possible to love anything." The final adoption hearing was simple. Judge Santos approved the paperwork with a smile. Lily Chen, Lily tested out her new name and grinned. I like it. Then it's settled, Judge Santos said. She came down from the bench to shake both their hands. You've given this child a future, Ms. Chen. That matters. Don't ever doubt that it matters. Walking out of the courthouse, legally and irrevocably mother and daughter, Zara felt something settle that had been unsettled her entire life. That hole carved out by her own mother's abandonment had been filled. Not by achievement or wealth or recognition, but by this. Choosing to stay when leaving would have been easier. Choosing to love when indifference would have been simpler. Choosing to be the mother she never had. Where should we go celebrate? Zara asked as they stood on the courthouse steps, the afternoon sun painting the city gold. Lily thought seriously. Home. Let's go home and make dinner together, and you can tell me stories about when you were little. So they did. They went home to the apartment that was now decorated with Lily's artwork and photographs of their life together. They made dinner, Lily helping, Zara supervising. And that night, while they watched a movie on the couch, Lily's head heavy on Zara's shoulder, Zara told the story she'd kept locked away for decades. She told Lily about another airport, another terminal, another terrified child left alone, about the security guard with kind eyes who helped her, about her grandmother who did her best but was overwhelmed, about the years of feeling unwanted. But you know what? Zara said, running her fingers through Lily's hair. If none of that had happened, I wouldn't have been at JFK that night. I wouldn't have understood what you were feeling. I wouldn't have known to stop. So bad things can lead to good things, Lily said, like how Mama leaving me meant I got to meet you. Sometimes, Zara said carefully, not always. Bad things are still bad. But sometimes, if we're lucky, something good grows in the space they leave behind. That night, tucking Lily into her room, the one they'd decorated together with a mural of rabbits in a meadow, Zara felt peace settling over her like a blanket. This was it. This was what she was meant to find. Not another billion-dollar deal or industry accolade. This, a child's hand in hers, a whispered, "Good night, Mom," in the darkness. A stuffed rabbit clutched comfortably, not desperately. This was enough, more than enough. This was everything. 10 years later, 15-year-old Lily Chen stood at JFK Airport, Gate 23, on the anniversary of the day that changed her life. She was here with Zara, as they were every year, for their quiet pilgrimage. But this year was different. This year, Lily wasn't just remembering. She was speaking. She'd started a non-profit, inspired by Zara's work. The Second Chance Foundation, dedicated to helping abandoned children. And today, she was training airport staff on how to identify and assist vulnerable children. 15 years ago, Lily told the assembled group of gate agents and security personnel, I sat on this floor. I was 4 years old. I was disabled. I was abandoned. And I watched hundreds of people walk past me like I was invisible. She showed them the security footage Zara had saved all these years. Showed them the small girl sitting alone, crying, eventually falling into that terrible stillness. One woman stopped, Lily continued, Zara Chen, and that single choice changed everything. Because of her, I'm standing here today. I'm thriving. I'm loved. I know I matter. But if she had walked past me like everyone else, I probably wouldn't be here. She showed photos. Her with Zara at the adoption ceremony, middle school graduation, her first piano recital, her acceptance to a prestigious high school. So, I'm asking you to be that person, Lily said. When you see a child in distress, don't assume someone else will help. Stop. Ask questions. Get involved. Because you might be that child's Zara Chen. After the training, Lily and Zara sat together at Gate 23. You did great, Zara said, pulling Lily close. I learned from the best, Lily said, leaning into her mother's side. Mum, thank you. For stopping that day. For staying. For everything. Thank you. Zara said, for teaching me what really matters, for making me a mother, for being exactly who you are. They sat in comfortable silence, watching travelers rush past. And Lily thought about how different her life could have been, how close she came to being just another statistic, another lost child. But Zara had stopped. Zara had stayed. Zara had chosen her. And that choice, that single, simple choice to see a suffering child and refuse to look away, had created ripples that would spread for generations. Because love isn't about biology. Love is about showing up. Love is about staying when everyone else walks away. Love is about looking at someone society has rendered invisible and saying, I see you, you matter, I'm here. And sometimes that's all it takes to change the world, one choice at a time.